Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to episode 13 in our campaign game with the Hunters, GMT's game of U-boat combat in World War II. We're going to take U-86 back out into the Atlantic, but it is January 1942, and the Allies' U-boat hunting capabilities have increased yet again, which means that our patrols are going to be just a tiny bit harder as we get into the latter part of the campaign. Not only that, but it's the number 13. I've got a bad feeling about this one. But anyway, let's hope the dice gods still shine down on us. We're going to have a successful patrol. Let's jump in and see what happens. We'll get started now. All right, as always, let's do a quick recap of our campaign to date. We have now had a dozen successful missions, 22 ships sunk, the total tonnage of 124,700 tons. Our next objective is to get to 150,000, which will slide us over into that substantial victory category. Right now, we've got a marginal victory if we were to sink now, and the 150,000 is a substantial victory. From a promotion standpoint, we're looking for either a capital ship or to get to 175,000 tons, which will give us another medal, which give us the oak leaves to go with our Knight's Cross. That will actually provide some pretty good torpedo accuracy benefits too, so that one would be a good one to reach. Now, on our last episode, our engineer Mahler received his expert level. Our first watch officer Ray, as well as our Dr. David, are all experts. Second watch officer Klingman is still at the normal level, as is our crew, who have yet to have increased above their trained level despite going on 12 successful patrols. They're slow learners perhaps, but what can you do? And I will remind us that we still have our lucky charm here should we ever be forced to use it. I can't imagine we're going to make through the campaign without having to use this yet, perhaps even on this patrol. Now, I think with all that being said, it is time to go off and see what our patrol assignment's going to be. Things have shifted now that we're into January of 1942. We've got different patrol zones that have higher frequencies of coming up, so it's an interesting change in how things work. Let's go off now and see what our patrol will be. I'm zoomed all the way out of here on the map because one of the things I want to point out is we're in January 1942 as we look at the potential places we could go on patrol. North America is now one of our target zones. And it's an interesting place because it has a lot of unescorted ships. So that's kind of fat, easy hunting. But you'll also notice Bay of Biscay, transit to get there, and then transit to get home. So instead of having 2 transit zones where aircraft can attack us, there would be 6 on that voyage. So it's a long, dangerous haul to get to some easy hunting, which makes for an interesting decision because do you go for that, for the easy hunting, but risk 6 times trying to get through the transit zones without getting attacked by aircraft, or do you go to the Atlantic where you're more than likely to run into escorted convoys, but you only have to go through 1 transit zone. So let's see what our decisions are offered here for us right now. Now, on a roll of a 1, 2, or 3, because we're a Flagetten Kapitan, we get to pick our patrol zone. Let's see what we get. 6. So we do not get to choose our patrol zone. We're going to roll for it. This is interesting. I thought we were going to get a chance to pick, and in which case I think we would have gone with Atlantic Wolfpack because I want that kind of the ship-rich environment that those convoys provide, and the Wolfpack provides us with some extra cover. But let's see what we get here. A 2. Oh, the Arctic. Now this is interesting. We have yet to get there. So I'm going to check to see what this means. I think there's a couple of special features about this. We're going to the North Pole, everybody. Bring your winter coats. Here we go. Alrighty, this is going to be interesting. I knew there was something special about the Arctic. So, we could be permanently assigned to the Arctic. We immediately roll a die on 1, 2, or 3. And if it's a 1, 2, or 3, we're permanently assigned to the Arctic, and that's our patrol for the rest of the campaign. I'm kind of hoping we don't get that, because I kind of want to go to North America and try different places, but we'll take what the upper command orders us, the higher command orders us to do, hoping kind of for a 4, 5, or 6 here. A 4! Yes! Excellent. Okay, good. I mean, it would have been okay, but I'd like to get to North America once and try some different things and see the general run of play. So we were not permanently assigned to the Arctic. One thing, however, that I did notice on the mats here is that this is a little bit screwed up because we must go north instead of cutting out into the Bay of Biscay or something like that, because our route is going to be transit, Arctic, 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 transit, and back. So I'll just kind of wiggle that around. We'll go up here like that, but I think that's what we're supposed to do. It doesn't really explain it in the rules. The other nice thing, however, about being in the Arctic in January is that the day-night rules are different. And it's nighttime on a roll of 3, 4, 5, or 6, and it's daytime on a 1 or 2. So because it's January, the days are much shorter in the Arctic. So that's going to be nice. With that, let's get started on our patrol. Alrighty, so we will get started here. I'm just going to go transit, around, and then back, and then we'll just magically transport back to our port in France at the end here. I'm pretty sure that's what we're supposed to do based on what's on the older maps here. So this works. And these arrows, by the way, this is kind of these arrows have some errors in it, as has been noted on Wargame Geek. So we're just going to kind of wing it with that part of it. But let's go through our first transit, hoping we got a 2 there to get assigned to the Arctic. Hoping we get a big number here. We do not want to get attacked by aircraft. Looking for a 4 or better. Ooh. Okay, that was close. Takes us through the first transit zone. Let's go to the second transit zone. 8. Excellent. We're through the next transit zone and into the Arctic. Now, if we look at the Arctic's ship distribution here, it's very likely we're going to get a convoy without, of course, a wolf pack. And I did make an error in the last episode when we had a convoy. I just automatically switched it to a wolf pack engagement, which it was not. So I made a mistake there. It didn't matter because we rolled a really low escape detection roll anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But that was an error. But now I should be smarter. And thank you to the people who pointed that out. Okay, so we are in our first zone for the Arctic here. Capital ship would be nice because we got all our torpedoes here. Let's get another 2. 12. Oh, okay. We're getting all the odd rolls here. So a 12, normally it says an aircraft, but you know notice the little number 1 that's beside it, because the first time you roll a 12 boxcars, you get a random event. So we are going to roll on our random event chart here. Now these can be good or bad. One of the best ones we'd be looking at would be Hals und Beinbruch, which is a 7, which is the one we got last time, which gave us a lucky charm, because you can get those lucky charms stack. So a 7 could be extremely helpful here. There are some bad ones too. Let's see what we get. Yes! Nice! Excellent! So 7 is Hals und Beinbruch, literally meaning neck and leg break. This is slang for good luck. The player may re-roll any single die or dice roll. The good luck can carry forward to the future patrols, and more than one may be accumulated throughout the course of your career. Place the Hals and Beinbruch marker on your Uboat display mat in the random event box. Yes, that's literally the best one I think we could get. So that's fantastic, because now we have 2 lucky charms. I'll have to go find one and put it on our submat. But with that being said, now I think we continue on to the next zone. I don't think we re-roll this encounter, but I'm just going to double check. Alrighty, so yes, the random event does count for the encounter that happens there. So basically that means that we move on to the next box. We don't re-roll when we're in that box. Now that random event can only happen once, so if we were to roll a 12 again, it would be an aircraft encounter, which we don't want. So we don't want any more 12s. We'd like a 2, actually. That would be pretty awesome. Here we go. Our second encounter in the Arctic. Oh my goodness! Yes! Oh, capital ship! This is a crazy one! We rolled a 2 to get to the Arctic. We rolled a 12 for another lucky charm. And then we roll a 2 after I ask for a 2 to get the capital ship. This is the coolest one ever. Okay, so let's figure out what our capital ship is here. Oh, this is exciting. Because a capital ship would get us the next badge, the next level, the oak sleeves to go with our Knight's Cross. And we have full torpedoes. And it could be nighttime. Oh, this is going to be good, I think. Alrighty, here we go. So I was wrong. Not every one of these capital ship results in the next level of advancement. But still, they're pretty big and heavy here, too. Now, last time we got the Malaya, and I would love to get the Malaya again because we didn't sink it. We almost sank it, but we just couldn't put her under the... So a 7... Oh, we roll a 10-sided die here. Sorry. I was thinking that's lucky. It could be lucky to get. We roll 1 die here. Let's see what we get. A 5, 6, 7, 8 would be good. As would a 1 or a 2. Those would all give us advancements. We don't want a 3, 4, or 9, 10. 2. The Battleship Royal Oak. 29,100 tons. Most excellent. So let's set this encounter up. Alrighty, so the first thing we have to do is to see whether it's nighttime. And because it's the Arctic in January, it's nighttime on a roll of 3, 4, 5, or 6. Yes! We got the 3! This is so cool. Because anywhere else it would have been daytime. But because we're in the Arctic, the 3 is nighttime. I rolled the black die because I figured that'd be pretty good luck. Okay, excellent. So it is nighttime. And the reason why that's important is that gives us, if it were daytime, we would have a +1 modifier because we have the steam torpedoes loaded in our forward torpedo tubes. And you can't follow a capital ship either, so we would have to engage during the daytime. So this is, I mean, it's still going to be ugly, right? Because the escort's there and they get a +1 modifier, I think, with capital ships, and it's 1942. So we're going to get hit hard, but hopefully we can deal some damage. So I'm going to just think about how we want to attack this, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I've got this sorted out. We are going to come in submerged, because that's not going to, if we were on the surface and it were night, we would get a +1 modifier to detection, which we don't want. It is nighttime. We're going to do medium range. I was tempted to come in close, but subsequently, if we came in close, there'd be another +1 modifier for detection, which would be deadly. I was also thinking about long range to give us a -1 modifier on detection, but I think we need to hit it hard on the first time, and I want that 7 included in the hit roll. So we're going into medium range. Now we are going to get pounded afterwards because they're going to have, as a base, they're going to have +3 to their modifiers on detection, which means we need to roll a 5 or less to escape. So I think we're going to go to exceed test depth right away to give us a 6 or less. Even then, the odds are like 40% that we're going to get away. If that doesn't work, we're going to get really pounded. It's going to be a 4 or less. We are in serious trouble after this one. So this is high risk, high reward, and I'm hoping that we can get 3 hits with our torpedoes. So with that being in mind, we're going to fire all 4 shots, of course, at the Royal Oak. There's nothing else around. We need to do 5 damage to sink it, 7 or less to hit. Fire 1. Gah! It was a dud and it went wide. Okay, that's not a good start. Fire 2. Excellent. A 4 and a 2. So we get 1 hit and it's not a dud. Second shot. We need at least 2 hits. 7 and a 5. Our second torpedo hits. Or our third. Our second hit out of 3. Last one. Come on, we're going to need this one. If we get this one, we'll have a really good chance. Ah, gosh, it missed. A 9 and a 5. It went wide. Okay, so let's sort this out here. The 2 steam torpedoes are gone. These 2 steam torpedoes hit it. Now, we need 5 damage to sink it. On a roll of a 1, we get 4 damage. A 2, we get 3 damage. A 3, we get 2 damage. 4 or more, we get 1 damage. So if we get a 1 with any roll, we'll definitely sink it, because that would be a minimum of 5. We're going to roll 1 at a time just for dramatic effect. First torpedo hits. Oh, God. A 6. So we only do 1 damage, which means we need to roll a 1. I'm going to switch to the black die to sink it. Come on, dice roll gods. Ah, 3. So we do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, which leaves it with 2 hit points. Oh, bugger. So that means now we go to detection. If we survive, we can follow it, but we're going to have to survive. Okay. So here's the roll in detection. Normally it's an 8 or less, but it's 1942 now. So that means it's +2 to their modifier, which means we need a 6 or less. And a capital ship gets +1 to that. So it's a 5 or less. We're going to immediately go to exceed test depth. So that puts -1 and we take 1 hull damage. I'm going to do it off the screen here because we're going to hopefully escape this if we could. So we're taking 1 hull damage, and there are no consequences because we can't roll a 1 with 2 dice on that kind of test depth check. So we're just going to roll that, which means we need a 6 or less to get out of here unscathed. This is a huge roll. Come on, dice roll gods. Oh, God. No, that's like really bad. 12 or more is undetected, +1 to the attack die roll modifier. Okay, here they come. We'll set this up. All right, so we roll for hits, and they get a +1 because they rolled a 12 plus on detection. So we add 1 to this die roll, hoping for a low roll. 4, that's not too bad. A 5, only 1 hit. Excellent. So for the U-boat damage chart, we have to roll. We read the black die first. Hopefully we get something inconsequential. 46. Ah, nice. The 2 centimeter flak gun. We do have a flak gun like that, so that does damage our flak gun here. So we'll put that out on the chart. So our flak gun is damaged. But all things considered, that's not too bad for the first attack here. However, now we have to get out of here again. And our die roll modifiers are even worse because it's normally 8 or less. It's a capital ship, though they add 1. It's 1942, so they add 2. That makes +3. Previously detected is +4, which means that they need a 4. We need a 4 or less to escape detection. We are going to exceed test depth once more. And which means we have to roll to see if we have a problem. If we roll snake eyes, we take an extra hit of damage. So this is the last time we'll probably be able to exceed test depth, but I think it's worth it. Hoping for greater than a 2. A 12, okay. We've had so many extreme dice rolls in this batch. I'm using the same dice too, I haven't changed them out. Okay, so we've exceeded test depth again, which means it's -1. Okay, so that makes us a 5 or less to escape. Let me just double check this. Let's see, +2. Capital ship +3. Previous detected +4. Exceeding test depth -1 +3. We need a 5 or less. This is not good odds. Come on, let's get it. 9. Oh, crud. Here they come again. Okay, let's roll for hits. Hoping for another low number. Oh, God, 11. 4 hits. Ah, this is looking bleak here. Okay, so let's roll for damage now. We have 4 hits to administer. 66. Oh, God, that's not good. That's the fuel tank. Okay, so let's put a damage marker on the fuel tank. I think that means an automatic mission abort unless we can fix it. I'm not sure where. I think it's here. That must be the fuel tanks, right? All right, let's get this right side up. That's not a good start. Another extreme roll. Gosh, there's been like 12s and 2s all over the place. Okay, second roll. 51 is flooding. Okay, so we get 1 bit of flooding there. 2 more to damage. Here. 66, the fuel tank again. Let me just double check to see what happens if it... I think it means nothing if it's damaged again. I'll just double check that. 42, I believe that's crew. No, radio. Ah, this is not good. Really bad. Well, the radio I think only matters if... I don't know where the radio is here. Batteries, hydraulic radio. Let's try that. I think that's the radio antenna. There we go. Okay, so let me just double check on the when we rolled the fuel tank a second time to see what happens, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so I just double checked. If the same system that's already damaged gets damaged again, it's just treated as no effect, so that's good. But the damaged fuel tanks, it's going to add +1 modifier to our detection round. In the next round, first of all, we have to roll for flooding. Because Engineer Mahler is an expert, we get -1 on the die roll, so on a 1 to 4, but -1, so 1 to 5, the flooding is stopped. It is stopped, so we don't have any additional flooding there, which is good. However, now we have to go to detection again. This gets super ugly. So it's normally 8 or less. 1942, so it's +2. Capital ship is +3. Our fuel tanks are damaged, which is +4. For previous detected, which is +5. We need a 3 or less to escape, which is an 8% chance. We are going to exceed hull depth again. Because if we do blow up, so we roll 2 dice. If we get a 2 or less, the hull implodes and we're crushed to death. But we would use one of our lucky charms there. If we get a 3, we take another point of damage on the hull. Anything greater than that, we're okay. So we're hoping for a high number here. 6. Okay, so we successfully exceed test depth for the 3rd consecutive time, which gives us a +1. So going back to it, +2, +1 for fuel tanks damage, +1 for capital ship is 4. We need a 4. Previous detected is 5. So we need a 3 or less. Because we're at lower than test depth, we need a 4 or less to get out of here. This is like really bad odds. We are so dead. Come on, dice roll gods. 4 or less. A 9. Okay, taking another hit. Let's see what we get here. Hoping for a low number. 5. That's not too bad. 1 hit. Okay. So that's not too bad unless we get some other system. 55 is the hull. Oh, crud. Okay, that's like really bad. So now we go for detection again. There's nothing to repair there. We're all good on that. We can't repair our damaged systems until after the engagement here. Okay, so we're rolling again. This time we are not going to go to exceed test depth. I don't think we can risk it. We can't risk... Oh, do we risk it? Let me just think for 1 second. No, we're not going to risk it, because that would put us at 5 hull damage, which would be perilously close to imploding the whole submarine and losing it that way. So we're not going to do... We're just going to have to hope that we get a lucky roll here. So we need a 3 or less to escape. We are so doomed. It was all going so well. Because it's, 1942 plus 2, fuel tanks damage plus 3, capital ship plus 4, previous detected plus 5. That's it. So we need a 3 or less. Come on, let's get us out of here. 10. Oh, God. 6 is just 1 hit. Okay, so fortunately, they're hitting us and they're tracking us, but they aren't hitting us for a lot of damage so far. Let's see what we get. 33. Ah, it's the hull. Oh, bugger. It's our 5th one. We are so close to dead. Okay, so now again we need detection. We need a 3 or less. Oh, it's like 8%. We're going to have to roll this forever. We're so dead. A 9 again. Whoops, excuse me. That means we roll for hits again. Nice roll. Good roll. Oh, seriously. So a 12 is 5 hits. Oh, no. No. Wait. There's a die roll modifier on the attacks, too. Because our fuel tanks are damaged and hit, we take +1 on the die roll modifier here, which means a 13, which is U-boat sunk. So we are using one of our lucky charms and taking that out, and we will re-roll this die roll. Now, I have to think back as to what we rolled on this previous one. I'm not sure. I think we had a 5, so I think we're okay. 1 hit on that one. We might have been taking 1 hit less, but we'll roll with it here. Okay, so we roll this again. 7 is +1 is 8, so 2 hits we take. Oh, good Lord, we're so screwed. Is there anything else here that I'm missing? No. Okay, 2 hits. 61. The hydrophones. Oh, God, I think that adds more modifiers here. We're going to have to roll snake eyes to get out of here. I think this is the end, everybody. I think we are all over. This is 64. It's a forward torpedo door. Oh, good Lord. It's just a nightmare. Ah, right there. So let me just double check to see what happens with our hydrophones out. Alright, so the hydrophones out, fortunately, don't impact escort detection. They do add 1 to the die roll on hits, though. So now we're adding 2 on die rolls to hits. Okay, so we go back. Once again, we need a 3 or less to escape detection. Oh, please get us out of here. An 8. Okay, so hits again. We add 2 to this die roll. 3. That's not too bad. +2 is 5, which is 1 hit. We need that. Save that 3 for the escort detection, though. So a 5 is 1 hit. 41 is the hull. Got like 2 spots left on the hull. Oh, good Lord. This was such a good idea until this went sideways like this. Once again, we need a 3 or less. I'm going to mix up the dice here to try to escape detection. Come on, dice roll, God save us. 8. Hell, we roll for hits again. 8 + 2 is 10, which is 3 hits. Good Lord. 34 is a crew injury. Now, one thing I was just reading that I didn't know is that you roll for these right away because they could impact some of the subsequent die rolls. So our first of the 3 here, we're going to roll for our crew injury. Let's see what we get. A 3 is the first watch officer. Officer Ray. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we get here? A 2. Oh, fortunately, he's lightly wounded. So, Watch Officer Ray is only lightly wounded. That's okay. That's 1. We have 2 more to roll for. 61. Oh, that don't tell me. That's the hull. Hydrophones. Okay, so they're already broken, so we can't break those anymore. Roll 1 more time. 14. Oh, God, it's the periscope. Oh, so everything's broken. I think the periscope must be that. It's all broken up here, so I'm not sure which one is which one, but they're all broken. And that was our third hit. Okay. This is crazy. Oh, okay. So we need a 3 or less to escape detection. 8. God, we rolled 8 like 20 times in a row. Plus 2 to this die roll. 8 plus 2 is 10. 3 more hits on the ship. Don't hit the hull. 15. The dive planes. Okay. The dive planes are +1 modifier. I'm tempted to use the... I don't know which ones. Maybe these here are the dive planes. I'm tempted to use our second lucky charm there, because the dive planes add 1 to the dice roll modifier. It means we need a 2, but I think we'll hold out here. Okay, so we had 3 hits, right? So 2 more hits to go. 54 is flooding times 2. Okay, so we have to roll to stop for that immediately. The last one, 43, is flooding again. So Mahler has to try to fix the flooding. We need a 1 to 5. 6 doesn't work, so we get flooded more. So 3 more flooding spots and we're done. Now our dive planes are out. Our fuel tanks are damaged. So it's like plus a bazillion. We need Snake Eyes to escape detection. Snake Eyes are always escaping detection, even if everything's badly against you. Let me just double check to make sure that we're on the right spot here. Yeah, it is. I just wanted to add up all the dice roll modifiers. It's +6 to them. We're dead. We are so dead. I mean, we get 1 lucky charm left that we can use somehow, but we need it Snake Eyes or less. That's like a 2 to 3% chance. I mean, we've had a lot of Snake Eyes and 6s so far. Oh, God. We've got so many 12s. We need the opposite. A 12 is +1 on the attack die roll modifier, so we add 3 to the die roll. 8 and 3 is 11, which is 4 hits. 52 is the hull. We're going to have to use our lucky charm here somewhere. 3 more hits to go. 41. Okay, so 41 is the hull again, which would sink us. So we're going to use our last lucky charm and re-roll, but we have no more lucky charms left. 3 hits to go. 36 is the deck gun. Okay, well, that hasn't been broken yet. So that breaks. There's nothing left. We're just like a big hunk of steel. 2 more hits to go. 55 is the hull.